Good evening. I hope everybody is doing all right tonight. Um, Man, I was at it pretty much all day today, and you might wonder, well, what the hell were you at that long? Believe it or not, putting the containers together for the grow tent, the small grow tent. Because I'm kind of like meticulous on some things, and I wanted to make sure everything's lined up properly, and I want everything to look uniform. I want it to look nice. So I took my time with it, and I think it's turning out well. I've got like three left to go, like three containers left to go, and so I'm gonna finish up tomorrow. But the good news with that is that will allow me to shoot a video for you guys of how I'm setting up the drip system itself in the containers. So and the containers themselves. So that way you'll get a good close-up look at that and how I'm doing that. And I'll shoot that video tomorrow, and then I'll close that video up with going over the entire system that's entailed there. So this is just the irrigation part of the system. I don't have all the stuff to do the drain part of the system yet, which is going to be simple. It's going to consist of two hoses, two different size hoses, and one's 3/4 inch inside diameter. The others are be 3/8 inside, 1/2 inch outside, and just a real simple drain system. And then it'll be good to go. It'll be good to start planting. So that's it. Let's see if there's anything else I can think of. News was kind of crazy today. Off the wall in a few different areas, and obviously we'll get to that soon enough. So the topic tonight, I wanted to go back and readdress this. Now, I'm going to link a prior monologue video from, I think it was 2019. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back and, because what I do after the show, if I remember to, and I'll make sure to, is I go in and I take out the intro video for the people that go back later on to watch the shows. I get rid of the intro video, and so at that point in time up here, I will put a card right now for that prior monologue video to where I went into detail on some specific things when it comes to SHTF security and your bug out location and stuff like that, because I in some manners I went in some pretty good detail on it. What I'm doing tonight, what I want to do tonight is I want to address, or hopefully address, those that maybe are a little newer to the game, so to speak. And the reason why is because there are a lot of new preppers involved in this. And here's the other thing. There are a lot of new preppers and old preppers alike that have bought property recently or about to buy property. So that's what I want to kind of aim at. And I don't have a real long conversation about this tonight because it doesn't need to be. There's some basic things that I think are important from the beginning. If you're just going into this, especially with a bug out property, that I think are immensely important. The name of the show, by the way, Protecting Your Molehill from the Mountain, what that means is it doesn't matter how big of a group that you have. If the wrong people know where you're at, you're in trouble. Because those people are probably going to have some kind of an idea of how many people you have, and all they have to do is build that mountain. I think one of the most important things you can do if you're a new prepper and you just bought new property, or if you're an old prepper and just bought new property, don't let nobody know about it. Number one up on top of the list, because I'll tell you what, population density doesn't matter if the wrong individuals know where you're at. Plain and simple. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of speaking to the newer preppers here, or again, the older preppers that have maybe just purchased property recently. I can't remember all that I went into in that video that I'm going to link off the top of my head. I do know, I think that I kind of briefly covered some of this, if I do recall right, but I do want to go over it again. So here's the thing. Like I said, don't let anybody know where your property is. And I would be very, very hush on your plans, to be honest. I think those other individuals that you plan to have with you, I think it's probably wise to keep it somewhat vague. And I think it's wise, I'm telling you, to keep that property a secret. And I mean a secret. The location, period, a secret. I think it's wise to have several waypoints set up for those individuals that you plan to bug out with. But I think it's important, and I think I might have went over this in that video I'm going to link, but you probably want to end their knowledge of the actual location at a couple of waypoints before the location. So if you run through bugging out with other individuals, you can most certainly do that. You could have a total of 5 waypoints, and the other individuals know about the first 3 and not the last 2 waypoints in the destination. You can most certainly do that. Most certainly. There are other things that you can set up too as fail-safes, and that will help those other individuals in case you would happen to get disconnected from your group. It would help them be able to finish finding you. But that should not be an issue, because you should have communication set up in manners that's not an issue. One of the things though that I really wanted to kind of mention, because right now I think there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of things. They're putting a lot of plans into motion when it comes to bug out properties. And just a couple of things I want to mention. And again, I think I touched on this before in that other video, but I want to make sure that I touch on it. Be careful when you contract individuals to do the work. And be careful with permits and everything else. Don't raise too much suspicion with what you're doing. Now, this is completely dependent upon where you are at, okay, and what kind of work you're having done and the whole 9 yards. So you have to take a whole lot in consideration. I'm not telling you how to go about it. I'm just saying that if it's possible, right, be very careful about permits. It would be my recommendation, if you just purchased bug out property and you're getting ready to set it up, don't do anything on grid. Don't have power ran to it. Don't get a mailing address. If it's like raw property, don't get don't get it set up with an official mailing address. I mean, just, yeah, nothing. Just my recommendation. But be careful of, like I say, the paper trail essentially is what you're wanting to be careful of. And that goes into some other things. Well, the contractors, let me talk about that. The reason why I say be careful of contractors is because you might have some individuals eyeing up what you're doing and getting getting an idea of what you might be doing, and you may have a visitor come SHTF, right? So you want to be careful of that. But the other thing that you really want to do when it comes to contractors, and I think this is essential, and the government does this a lot. Why not? Why not learn from the ones that are best at doing sneaky crap, right? Split the work up between different contractors. Don't Joe Bob, and you're gonna have Joe Bob come in and do everything top to bottom. No. Compartmentalize what people know about wherever you possibly can. Okay? Because the least that they can put together of your whole operation, the better. Right? And yeah, I may be speaking to individuals that's got a little bit of boot to spin, but I know a little bit about it. What I was kind of touching upon when I was mentioning watching the paper trail and with permits and stuff, you want to be very weary of government and knowledge that you might have a place to go. Once again, that mountain is a bitch. Plain and simple. And if others know or find your location and have an opportunity to build that mountain to come to your molehill, everything you did was for naught. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. There's a lot of things I don't talk about on the show, and for good reason. And as I've been saying consistently here lately, we're not a prepper channel. I've talked about prepping ever since we've been a channel, but we're not a prepper channel. And so I really don't go into a whole lot of it. I've been involved in prepping for a very, very long time. That closet is what is here. Period. I will say that I would like to try to stick it out for as long as I can, as long as things aren't too stupid. But believe me, if I don't like the way that a mouse fart sounds, I'm gone. Not just me, but Jen and Blue and myself, and I'm gone. Because, once again, I'm not going to take any risks. Why would I? And so I'm also, on that note, not going to wait until the very, very, very last minute, which is the other very important thing I need to go over, and this goes for all preppers, but don't wait until the last minute. Okay? If you're going to bug out, don't wait until the last minute. For a couple of big reasons. Number one, you want to make sure you get there. So you don't want to wait too long and traffic be all jammed up, or, roads being blocked off, or whatever the case may be. So you're going to want to get on it. The other reason, now I lost track. Hang on. Completely lost track. Can you believe that? That's because I actually had something else that I was going to talk about, and that was kind of a side thought. And I didn't have any of that down. I've got three lines wrote down. It's my notes. 3 lines. Like I said, I didn't really intend to go into a whole lot of detail. But that was the biggest part of it, was if you're new to this, if you've got a new location, or if you're still working on building your location or whatever, man, these are some rules of thumb to go by. I'm telling you. You do not want individuals to know. And that, I'm going to say that includes any individuals. That include, I'd be very mindful of who knows of that location. Very mindful. And I would even try, I would go as far to arrange it that very few, even in your group, actually know the final destination until it's time. Man, there's a lot of opportunities that can arise, good and bad, obviously, over time. And you don't want, for instance, and this was one of our considerations when we set up what we got going on, is we didn't want somebody to, for whatever reason, either have a falling out or have to be let go out of the group, however it shook out, and there be animosity there. Well then, how can you guarantee 100% that person isn't going to turn around and come back later on to come and haunt you? You can't. They know where you're at. They know where you're at. And they can build a mountain to come after your molehill. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking specifically to Bugout locations. This is not, information for bugging in where you already are, obviously. Trying to think. Oh yeah, the other reason, the last minute, why you don't want to wait till last minute to go to your Bugout location is because with all the increased traffic and everybody else running around and everything else, and people looking for places to go, you don't want to be seen you don't want to be followed going to your Bugout location or seen going to your Bugout location. So it's kind of better off to try to, get there in enough time. Ideally, if you don't have any stupid ideas like I do of trying to possibly see how things go for a little bit, make sure you're just playing out in plenty of time. Plenty of time. So, howdy, Scott. But that's really kind of all I had on that. I didn't plan to talk a whole lot on it. That was just something that I was thinking about because I've been mentioning, we do need to kind of, I think, my opinion is we kind of need to start aiming content towards new preppers because there's a lot of new preppers, a whole lot of new preppers. And so I think it would be wise. I know it gets old going over same stuff over and over and over sometimes, but might be good at least to start back over once again and help the new folks from go. So, because there's a lot, we learn a lot over the time of doing this, and not only that, but technology advances and things change. It's like I used to be a big fan of live straw, and I would recommend live straw all the time, nonstop. And I'm not dissing the product. I'm not saying it's a bad product. It's not a bad product, but there's a better product. That's Sawyer Mini or Sawyer Squeeze. It's a better product. Better product gives you a lot more options, can filter a lot more water, can do so better. Why would you not? You're talking a $10 difference. Why would you not? So I, that's one of the things that I changed doing. I do not recommend. In fact, I tell people don't even mess with your live straws. If anything, put them somewhere in a care kit or something that you can give somebody that you know and love and want to have some clean water. But I recommend folks get either a Sawyer Mini or a Sawyer Squeeze, or even something bigger and better. I mean, but at a bare minimum. So anyway, trying to think if there's anything else. Like I say, I've been in the kitchen all day. I didn't record any of me doing any of that because it's a lot of walking back and forth and all that, and it's kind of no way to really do it. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record doing one of them here in the living room on the table here, and then I'll show you what the system looks like, not with all the irrigation set up. So anyway, I am tired. I have a few vapes. What filters are you talking about? Scott? Sorry, I just looked over. I saw that. I don't know what you mean by 5-gallon filters. Went from 80 to 40. Oh, yeah, 8 to 40. I know, I thought, here, let's take a peek, see. Oh. See, I'm checking out here locally. Yeah, they're same price here, because this is for local. $20 and $30 for the Sawyer Mini and the Sawyer Squeeze. So same price here on those anyway. Oh, I see. Okay, you're talking about a different filter. Okay. Yeah, these are the ones that I always recommend, folks get. And if they want to get something, bigger gravity feed, something Berkey or whatever, I highly recommend something like that. So, but at a very bare minimum, this is what I recommend. So either the squeeze is actually better. You got more options with the squeeze than with the mini. So the extra $10, to be honest, is worth it. So. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is a lot of stuff that's getting expensive. A lot of stuff that's gone insane. And that's why I say, it's important folks get on this stuff, because it's not going to get any cheaper. It's not going to get any cheaper. And pay attention, close attention to the news, and try to hit, certain areas. Like I had mentioned before, we want to go after energy. That's kind of what we want to start hitting next, is energy. And as soon as I possibly can, I want to get panels, some solar panels, at least 200 watt, like Renogy panels. Like $103, $104 a piece right now. I don't know how long they're going to stay at that price. And with that issue, what was in China, I guess, of the that plant catching on fire, I'm surprised the prices hadn't already gone up. So I'm shocked, actually. However, I may actually not get the Renogy. Let me show you guys this. Do 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 do. I think it was the yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Was it this one? I saw it and I was like, you're kidding me. And I like checked and double checked just to make sure, because I thought, man, that's a better panel. And hang on, I'm reading. I thought it was on here. It may have been. Anyway, I'll just tell you. Ha 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 ha. Right here. Our foldable, portable, listen to this, polycrystalline solar panel. Our rugged, reliable, la la la. Polycrystalline. Now, I get it that this isn't $103, $104. This is $190. I get it. But this is polycrystalline. And that's a lot better, to be quite honest, than monocrystalline. So it's kind of rare you see, in my opinion, I think it's kind of rare that you see polycrystalline panels in these foldable cells. So I saw that and I was like, So this is actually a thought, and I forgot to mention it to you, and I apologize. But that's the All Powers. That's the brand, and it's their 100-watt portable. Their little folder, probably not too little. Folded size is 20 inches by 25.6 inches by 1.2 inches. So, and it weighs 7.9 pounds. So, it's not super tiny. But again, polycrystalline. So that is that's a winner for me. So the Renogy, they're monocrystalline. Most of the panels that you find like on Amazon that most of us can afford to buy, most of them are going to be monocrystalline. That's why I saw that and my eyes just bugged out because it's not so common. Anyway, that was an unexpected tip for you tonight. Well, I do want some portable. So, but not all. I would like to have anywhere between 200 and 400 watts worth of Renogy's, and I certainly would like to have at least another 100 watts of a folding panel. That would put me at 160 watts in folding panels, not counting the 28 watt. And then I've got the 260 watt semi-flexibles, but I want to make sure that I've got enough portable power, and I think that polycrystalline panel, I think that'd definitely do it, because it should really outperform. Have you seen the difference? Have you tested the difference between monocrystalline and polycrystalline? It's night and day. For your overall consumption, it's night and day. I would argue that the monocrystalline works a little better in like cloudy conditions and stuff. I think it outshines the polycrystalline when it comes to not so great conditions. But if you can get some good direct sunlight in the polycrystalline panels, yeah, they'll outproduce the monocrystalline any day. So, well, that's awesome. Thanks for your service. Right, right. Um, the thing is there's no need for me to build a big, let's say a bug-in type of system. That it would be pointless. I would personally be wasting money, because don't plan to be here. um, So, but I wouldn't mind. The reason why I say 2 to 4 panels is I wouldn't mind building a big enough system that I could at least power the refrigerator and some lights. The main thing though is have a big enough system to it could handle the surge of a regular full size fridge. So that's really all I'm worried about. And so, considering a fridge don't have to run all the time, I would say probably 400 watts, and a sufficient battery bank would probably do it. So, well, my bugging out isn't far from bugging in, really. Um, I'm not going out. It's in the woods, but I'm not going out to the woods. Okay, it's well, yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go ranger it or anything like that. I'm not goofy. I'm not goofy. But since 2012, there had been plans put in place and been worked at ever since. And I guarantee you, when it goes down, I will be there. I'm not gonna be here. Why would I? That would make no sense to me. I'm not. I've got nothing to prove to nobody. I got nothing to prove to nobody. As far as loyalty, I've got my people to be loyal to. That's it. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Just the reality of it. Like I said, I got nothing to prove, and many of these fights aren't my fight. And you know what? Not a soul, and I mean this, not a soul has stepped up to help me in my fights. Not a soul. So I ain't interested in just taking on causes that aren't my deal. Like, for instance, let me just make this as an example. This whole thing that happened with the election and all that, let's say that really blew up and that really caused civil unrest in between individuals, and there was fighting in the streets and all that. And I mean, I know that there was on some level, but I'm talking a true SHTF. That ain't my fight, man. That is not my fight at all. And I ain't even the least interested in that fight. I'm just going to bug out and let everybody do what they will with each other and try to rebuild from the dust. So I don't think it's wise whatsoever to have an attitude that you can take on the mob, because it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So that's why we're bugging our asses out, because I ain't going to take on the mob. But like I say, it's not like we're walking out into the wilderness with our tent, setting up our tent and doing bushcraft. No. Not even remotely. Not even remotely. Right. Don't call me till we're ready to take it back. Now, see, now you know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Been at this for a long time though. And I would love to bug in if we could. I would love to bug in. But I live in the middle of a small town, which is great. The idea, my hopes, and I don't mind sharing this stuff I have before, my hopes are to be able to build community and be able to rebuild. And I'm talking after something major stupid happens. I think that this is a good location of any I could think of with the right kind of people to be able to achieve that. That being said, I'm smart enough to know that things don't always go as planned. So that's why there's a bug out location. And oh, well, yeah, I don't know if you know where we live now or not. That's the Scott I'm thinking, right? I don't know if you know where I'm at or not, because we had moved from that other location. So, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean, we're in the same town. We're just not in the same building. Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're in a little bitty house now, but nonetheless, I mean, we're not in a place that you could actually bug in. And the biggest reason why is because there's just no room here. We are renting, we're renting a house, so what I can do is very, very limited. And so, yeah, it wouldn't, no, this isn't the place to ride out the end. So, not that it's a bad place, I'm just saying, why? There's no point. I got nothing to prove, I've been working with a fairly good-sized group of individuals since 2012. We've had plans in place. I think I'm going to stick with the plan. Yeah, no, she's not. That's the good thing. Yeah, yeah, we don't even hardly ever see neighbors. So, both our neighbors are gone all the time. So, we don't hardly ever see neighbors. It's nice and quiet here on this street, and it's funny because we laugh at this all the time. Today we had the windows open, and come noontime we heard the church bells, and Jen and I were joking and laughing about it because, man, those church bells were a nightmare when we lived at the other place because they were so damn loud and annoying. But now we can still hear them, but we hear them from afar. Oh man. Anyway, I reckon I could do some headlines, get the heck out of here, get some rest tonight so I can get up. I didn't get Patreon's video done either. Because I started getting into doing it, and then it was probably getting close to about noon when it dawned on me, crap, I hadn't even done the Patreon video yet. So, I'm sure I'll get one out to Patreon tomorrow, and there's another video that I should get out for Patreon tomorrow. So, Patreon should get 2 videos tomorrow. One of them's kind of a what's up, just what's up video, and the other one's the Go Tent video. So, other than that, like I said, I can't think of any more updates or anything. I am going to run through the headlines. But yeah, that's the big thing, like I was talking earlier about with bug out locations. Don't let it be known where, because That's your best way of protecting that molehill, because no matter what, we've all got molehills. Even the operation I'm involved with, it's a molehill, and I mean it's not a molehill, but it's in reality it's a molehill. You know, any way you slice it, it's a molehill. So, and damn well letting any level of government know where your bug-out location is or your bug-out plans are. Yeah, that's brilliant. Read a few books. Not a good plan. Because you got to remember, it only takes one person. It only takes one person. You know, so it doesn't matter if the majority of the group of individuals that know about your plans, your location, your what you've got. It only takes one. It only takes one. Then they start building that mountain. So, anyway. Let's see. Okay. I don't see any new headlines out. What's Amazon bugging me with notifications for? Get out of here. Alright. I've got a little, what do they call that? Amazon Assistant or something? Yeah. Kind of a cool little app thing, but it spams the hell out of me. Let's see. Got one from last night, actually. All the statues were Democrats. Representative McCarthy says as 67 Republicans joined Democrats in vote to pull Confederate busts from Capitol. More of this stuff. I mean, I don't have any kind of attachment to statues. But like I have said before, this is never ending, and it will be never ending until they're told no. And it doesn't matter how much you give up or give in, it won't stop until you say no. Let's see. Deputies say man threatened homeowner with a crossbow, then set fire to the house. That's kind of messed up. That happened in the St. Louis area. I think that was in the St. Louis area. I'm pretty sure. Over 100 die suddenly in Vancouver area in 4 days, police say, as heat wave batters Western Canada. Entire paragraph of lies. Carlson fires back at NSA after spy organization claims he is not their target in non-denial denial. I love that. Non-denial denial. OPEC expects increase in global oil demand in 2021 amid world's post-pandemic recovery. European NATO-led troops leave Afghanistan. U.S. may complete withdrawal before July 4th. Russia in final stage of negotiations with Egypt to build industrial park in Port Said. Maker of South Korea's first advanced fighter jet allegedly hacked and scores of secret documents stolen. Yeah, that probably isn't a good thing. I'm actually curious at who did it. I mean, obviously, I suspect North Korea, but could have been someone else. Iran begins drill in Caspian Sea, exhibiting naval units, fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and drones. A fourth COVID wave likely to hit France in autumn, president of Scientific Council warns amid falsely reassuring figures. Putin reveals he received Russian-made Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine, says he believes it's safer than AstraZeneca or Pfizer jabs. North Korea admits it's facing great crisis amid COVID-19 pandemic as Kim Jong-un dismisses party officials for neglect of duty. Despite deteriorating COVID-19 situation in Russia, Putin says he's still opposed to policy of nationwide compulsory vaccination. Even if Russia had sunk British warship, it wouldn't have started World War III because US and UK know they can't win such a conflict, says Putin. If he was white, they'd call the police Britain's gobsmacked after viral clip of UK Muslims sharing his views on homosexuality. Let's see. Army to be deployed in Bangladesh to enforce strict COVID-19 lockdown. Chinese astronauts celebrate 100-year anniversary of CPC from orbit. Oxfam under fire for divisive staff survey that rejects reverse racism and calls racism power construct to benefit whiteness. I hope you caught all that. I sure the hell didn't. China wins fight against malaria, completely ridding country of disease after 70-year campaign. Ukraine has surrendered itself to control from the West. No point in meeting Zelensky when decisions are made in Washington, says Putin. I'm telling you, like I was saying yesterday, things are not better. You know, the tensions are not easing at all between us and Russia. Proportion of Germans jabbed with first COVID vaccine dose on par with Americans, German health minister says. Russia's agricultural growth will curb rising domestic food prices, says Putin. More people sleeping rough in London despite government spending millions to house homeless during pandemic. Russia not planning to block foreign social media networks despite showdown with U.S. giant Twitter over illegal content, says Putin. Toulouse slams cancel culture and shoots down French feminist requests to ban exhibition of 70s porno chick photographer. Putin and Biden had productive meeting, but any improvement in Russo-American relations will take number of months, says the Kremlin. A high court throws out legal challenge to Northern Ireland Brexit protocol. Let's see. Washington Post writer blasted for arguing children should be exposed to kink and BDSM at Pride. Another batch of Moderna vaccines delivered to Taiwan as COVID-19 inoculation program lags. Global warming is hitting Russia faster than most countries, and government must be prepared for serious consequences, says Putin. Google faces legal action in Russia over breaching personal data law. Saudi Arabia thwarts attempt to smuggle 4.5 million amphetamine pills inside crates of oranges. A new addition to the High Woke Code, Bristol installs rainbow LGBT pride crossing. Critics dub it a waste of money. Palestinian kid's book author accused of anti-Semitism after complaints cost black Jewish diversity chief her job. Almost 25% of COVID cases in Belgium are more transmissible Delta variant, virologist reveals. Ilhan Omar doesn't regret Israel remarks, attracts more anti-Semitism claims as she blasts critics. Swiss government announces bid for 36 F-35A fighter jets and Patriot missiles from U.S. despite political pushback at home. And all I can say is this. Before Switzerland gets those 36 F-35As, I better get my F-15, damn it. You better deliver on that. I want my F-15. For this guy. Crazy. Let's see. More than 100 groups call for Biden to cease unlawful drone strikes, saying it's a human rights and racial justice imperative. Even though I can't pronounce it right. Israeli settlers to cease illegal occupation of West Bank outpost, regional council says. Bill Cosby's sex assault conviction overturned by the court. Yeah, so he's been freed. So, yeah. It's crazy. 16 dead following Miami building collapses. 4 more bodies found in search for nearly 150 missing residents. That is so heartbreaking. And you know all the rescuers are doing everything they can. I guarantee you they're depriving themselves of sleep, food, everything else because they want to keep at it. They want to keep working. They want to hold on hope. And it bothers me that we're this far along into this, and we're not finding a bunch of live people, or really much of any. Just a sobering thought. It's crazy, and it frustrates me because I know in the end there's 99.9% chance that there'll be civil lawsuits and all that, but criminal charges, and anybody and everybody involved should be charged with the death of every single one of those people in a criminal court. But I'd say there's probably about a 99.9% chance you'll never see that happen. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Why? Because it was a business? Seriously, why? Because if we did that. Okay, let's say that I was drunk. Let's say I was driving drunk and I hit a building, and I hit that building just right so that the building collapsed and 20-something people perished. You know damn well that I would be charged with every one of those people's deaths, and rightfully so. I'm not arguing that I shouldn't be. Why is it different for businesses? Brexit sausage war truce as EU and UK agreed a 3-month extension to chilled meats grace period in Northern Ireland. Smallville actress Alison Mack sentenced to 3 years in jail for her role in NXIVM sex cult. Ongoing colonialism, indigenous groups call to cancel Canada Day in light of mass grave discoveries, but not everyone agrees. Yeah, it's going to be in the headlines. There was another location that makes 3 schools now. 3. It's going to be in the headlines. Scottish virus experts link nearly 2,000 COVID-19 cases to fans watching a Euro 2020 games, including clash with England at Wembley. Scientists unearthed 5,000 old plague bacteria that cause Black Death from skull of long-dead pandemic victim in Latvia. Over 180 unmarked graves found at former Catholic school in Canada, Indigenous group says, in third such finds. That's what I'm talking about. Over 180 more unmarked graves at a third school, a third location. So what was it? The first one was like 215 or something. The second one was what? I can't, it was mind-blowing. 700 and something, 900 and something, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember. And now 182 more. And I'll bet you that it's just the tip. I'll bet you that it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's such a shame. Matt Gaetz calls for Inspector General investigation into whether NSA or other intel agencies spied on Tucker Carlson. Passenger disruptions at Paris airports expected as workers from 3 French unions strike over new contract terms. Aim low. I thought this was mind-blowing. U.S. Air Force to allow walking instead of running in physical fitness tests. So now, you don't even have to be able to run to qualify for the fitness test to be in the military. You want to hear the dumbest idea on the planet? Put me on the front line. Be the dumbest idea on the planet. Unless you need a meat bag. Because I can't run. I can't breathe. What the hell are they thinking? Right? We're in trouble. Eric Adams sues over 135,000 test ballots to New York City mayoral race count amid botched primary election scandal. Is he still president? CNN's Jim Acosta booed after following Trump to Texas to ask about January 6th. That is kind of funny. That he would go all the way there and he's still asking him, that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. It really is. Let's see. Germany's CureVac jab shows only 48% effectiveness against COVID-19 in final stage of trial, driving stock plunge. Hang on. Okay. All right. Good to go. X markers next. Biden administration to allow applicants to self-select gender on travel documents and plans to add third option. Okay. And lastly here, Nunes on the case. House GOP leader McCarthy wants NSA investigated after Tucker Carlson accusations. So there you go. That is it. That's the headlines. Oh, by the way, I I thought it was kind of crazy that Tim had Candace Owens on last night. That was just mind-blowing. Good show, by the way. So if you hadn't seen that, definitely check out Timcast IRL and last night's show. I haven't had a chance to listen to tonight's show. Last night's show was really good, though. Candace Owens was on there. And also, I do want to mention this about Tim. He's got another channel. He's got Timcast IRL, and he's also got Tim Pool. Just his name, Tim Pool. Both channels are like essentials. Every day on the Tim Pool channel, or well, every weekday, he puts out a video on the Tim Pool channel. That is like typically a really, really good, awesome video. So, and then of course on Timcast IRL, he's got his live show that starts an hour before ours does. So, anyway, don't know of anything else. I am tired. I am beat. I think I am going to get out of here and make sure to get the intro cut out and get that little card thingy put up there for the other show I did on SHTF security. So anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a good night. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.